So let's welcome in ESPN basketball analyst Seth Greenberg to talk about this different way of coaching. Some people feel, but Seth, what do you think the message was that Kerr was trying to send to the players?
First of all, imagine if he had a bad team. If they're tired of his voice winning all those games.
Yeah.
If they had a bad team. Look, it's part Riley, it's part the Zen Master, but it's Steve Kerr all the way. And, think about this. You coach 100 games, right? Eventually, players are going to turn you off. I thought it was absolutely brilliant because you know what he's teaching them? He's teaching them leadership. He's teaching them ownership. It's their team, right? He's the steward of the team, but it's their team. You win with players, especially in the NBA, and then he's giving them that experience because those players that he handed that clipboard to, right? Let's face it, David West, he's played in 1,000 games.
Yeah, he's not handing it off to rookies.
Yeah, 5,000 timeouts. And to me, I thought it was absolutely brilliant, but the reality of it is this happens all the time. Maybe not handing that clipboard over, but this happens all the time. When a player comes to the bench in the NBA, if I'm Steph Curry, hey, coach, I'm coming off that curl. We got the pocket pass, all right? If I'm Kevin Durant, hey, I got this matchup. I want to get it on the left block. Those type of conversations are happening all the time in the NBA every single night.
So they're doing it in little ways. Well, I agree. When I saw it, I was like, this is different, and you're doing it with experienced guys, but Suns forward Jared Dudley seemed to disagree. He had this to say. He said, it shows a lack of respect for an opponent, and maybe right now we don't deserve respect. When you keep getting beat by 40, teams won't respect you, but it's up to us to change that. But do you think, what's your reaction to that?
I don't think it shows a lack of respect. I think it shows a way to try to reach your basketball team.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr's only priority is how can I get the best version of our team? How can I get all these guys on the same page to listen and hear me? Look, we've played 50 games already. It is a long season. And look, I joke about it, but you're with your wife that many days in a row, she's probably tired of hearing your voice also, or vice versa.
No.
That just happens. Day before Valentine's Day. Not a very good move, but that's the reality of life in the NBA. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And when Jared says, look, I maybe as a player on another team, Steve Kerr's only responsibility, his most important responsibilities. How can he get the most out of his team? It had nothing to do with Phoenix. It had all to do with how can I reach my team, especially right before the All-Star break.
Yeah. Now, what do you do as the season goes forward? You come out of the All-Star break. How do you as a coach keep guys motivated? We saw that one way by Kerr, but are there other ways?
It all depends on your team, Ryan, because do you have a veteran team? Are you trying to make the playoffs? Are you playing for seeding? The most important thing, look, people get judged not by the regular season record. They don't get judged by even their win streaks. What they get judged by is a championship. So if you've got a veteran team, you want to be healthy, you want to be fresh, you want to have your team engaged in each other, and for sure locked into you and your game plan. So if you have a veteran team, you're managing these next 30 games, you're managing your team, their minutes, their health, their mindset. Now, if you're fighting to make the playoffs, it's a little bit different. So you do have to find creative ways to do that. To me, in college, it was different. Because in college, I think too many times college coaches spend all their time this time of the year worrying about their next opponent when they really should be worrying about their team because they're playing for March as well.
You know what? So many people try to discount the role of coaches. There is so much to it than people think. Over to the college game as the turmoil continues at Colorado State, where the team is now on its third men's head basketball coach in the last 10 days. What was your reaction when you heard this?
I was disappointed. Obviously, I knew what has happened in the past. And look, the society and the culture of college basketball is totally different. In years past, trust came with a title. You were the head coach. Everyone's just buying into everything you would say. In years past, you know what? You could be demanding. You could be demeaning. People called that coaching. Today, all right, you can be demanding. You cannot be demeaning. It's not what you say, but how you say it. And I think that's where Larry, maybe he got behind in that nature. But it's really important to understand. I've seen both sides of Larry Stacey. When my dad passed away, the next game I coached, literally the day I buried him, I flew back from New York to California, and we played Utah State. And it was an emotional time, obviously, for me. We were fortunate enough to win the game, and the whole emotion of the day caught up with me immediately following the game. And he could not have been nicer to me. So I see that side of Larry Stacey. Now, coaching today is difficult, and it's not what you say and how you say it, and that I think that you've got to change. I know if I coached today, I would be absolutely, totally different than I was 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And if you don't, the reality is that this is what can happen. And in coaching,
Yeah.
you got to get your kids to buy into you. They got to play for you. They got to trust you.
Let me ask you this: few seconds left. What do you say if you're Jace Harrell, 30 years old, to these players?
I say,
message to them?
I'm going to demand of you. I'm going to hold you accountable. We're going to have core beliefs and non-negotiables. All right, and that's just the way it is. If you don't fulfill those core beliefs and non-negotiables, all right, there's going to be a consequence. But I'm not going to go after you in any negative way. But understand, I'm not going to be a player's coach. I'm going to coach you. You cannot be afraid to coach your team.
Yeah, different man in charge, different era. We'll see what he does. Seth, great to talk to you. Thank you so much.